Welcome back to Pals Fundamentals. For your Faroe Islands news update, if you're enjoying these reports, be sure to check out more videos from Faroe Islands Live. The link is below. It's Thursday, January 9th, 2025. And we've got a lot to cover. So let's get started with a look at what's happening with the weather.
Currently, the Faroe Islands are experiencing a lot to fresh winds from the north, with some snow flurries. Temperatures are ranging from -3 to +3 degrees Celsius.
And it sounds like we're in for some changes over the next few days.
Yes, a high-pressure system developing over Iceland will be moving towards the Faroe Islands tonight. This will cause the winds to diminish and will bring a shift from high to low pressure by Friday. Friday will see light winds from the south and east with possible snow showers. Temperatures are expected to rise slightly, settling between -3 and +5 degrees Celsius.
A little warmer, but still some of that wintry weather. What about the weekend?
On Saturday, the winds will turn southerly, bringing a chance of sleet and wet snow.
Okay, so classic Faroe Islands winter weather for the weekend. What can we expect as we head into next week?
Sunday and Monday will see strong southerly winds bringing rain and possible gales. Temperatures will continue to rise, reaching between +5 and +10 degrees Celsius. By Tuesday, the winds will shift to westerly, and conditions are expected to remain blustery.
So a bit of a mix of everything in the forecast. Now let's turn our attention to local politics.
The Faroe Islands have assumed the chairmanship of the Cooperation Council within the Kingdom of Denmark. The Prime Minister and 3 government ministers will be attending a meeting of the Cooperation Council, following the State Council meeting in Copenhagen tomorrow.
And there are some other political developments happening as well.
The Danish government has invited all parties in the Danish parliament to a meeting this evening. The meeting will be held to discuss the situation following Donald Trump Jr.'s visit to Greenland earlier this week, as well as statements made by the incoming U.S. president concerning Greenland and Denmark. The Danish foreign minister considers the situation serious, but does not believe it constitutes a crisis in U.S.-Danish relations.
Certainly a lot happening on the political front. Anything else to report?
The birth rate in the Faroe Islands increased in 2024. There were 591 newborns, which is 17 more than the previous year. Approximately 200 more births are expected in the first 4 months of 2025. And finally, there were very few insurance claims following the power outage, which affected the main island yesterday. A Norwegian professor, Tor Wig, has suggested that if the United States were to gain control of Greenland, they might also set their sights on Svalbard, a Norwegian archipelago in the Arctic Ocean.
And why does he believe that?
Professor Wig sees this as a significant security threat for Norway, one they haven't faced since World War II. He believes that the incoming U.S. president's interest in acquiring territories in the Arctic could extend beyond Greenland.
So his concern is that this is not just about Greenland, but about a potential shift in U.S. foreign policy in the Arctic region.
Yes, and Norway's political leaders are concerned. Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre has stated that Svalbard belongs to Norway and is secure. However, he's clearly troubled by the suggestion of a fellow NATO member using military force against an ally.
Now let's move on to local politics. The Sambandsflokkurin Party has put forward a proposal for what they're calling a new union.
The Sambandsflokkurin Party is arguing that the current relationship between the Faroe Islands and Denmark needs to be updated, particularly in light of recent events like the U.S. president's statements about Greenland. They believe the Faroe Islands should be a self-governing country within the Kingdom of Denmark.
So they're proposing more autonomy for the Faroe Islands,
Yeah.
but still within the Danish realm.
Yes. They are suggesting a 2-pillar foreign policy where the Faroe Islands would have control over matters directly related to them, such as international organizations, fishing agreements, and trade deals. They would also have decision-making power regarding defense operations in their waters.
So essentially more control over their own affairs, but still cooperating with Denmark on broader issues.
That's the idea. They believe that this new arrangement would strengthen the relationship between the Faroe Islands and Denmark, and that avoiding future conflicts would be possible by clearly defining each party's areas of responsibility. They're also proposing a new self-government law, which would replace the current Home Rule Act. This new law would establish the Faroe Islands as a self-governing country within the kingdom and solidify their right to decide on matters of foreign affairs, security, and defense.
So essentially a formal legal framework to solidify these new arrangements.
Yes, it's an ambitious proposal, which reflects the ongoing conversation about the future of the Faroe Islands and their place within the Kingdom of Denmark.
Well, we'll certainly be following this story as it develops. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us for another Faroe Islands news update.
It's been a pleasure.
Stay informed, and we'll be back soon with more news from the Faroe Islands.